Okay, good morning. The purpose of this video here is to just explain a few ideas concerning a non-profit organization that I'd like to create over the next year or so. It's concerning the people of Mumbai, the shantytown just on the outskirts of Mumbai. It inspired, excuse me, my God. It inspired the making of the film Slumdog Millionaire. A film that I just watched recently by Kevin McLeod. It describes a very fragile community of people who are on the brink of destruction by corporate people that just want to bulldoze the slum region for the sake of their own immediate profit and gain from doing so, because they want to build real estate there, nice, shiny, bright buildings. Now, Kevin McLeod was very much influenced to actually go and stay with these people in Mumbai, just to see, what they actually live like. And he was inspired to do so by a speech Prince Charles gave concerning the plight of these people, but yet they live very cohesive, family structured lifestyles, which bring a natural conformity in terms of unity, in terms of creating a productive cottage industry environment. Even though they don't have any real leaders or government, etc., they do have a very cohesive set of living practice, which is symbiotic in terms of family structure, because the people work effectively together as one big beehive, if you will. It's a collective of individuals, a microculture that has been created. Prince Charles is very correct in stating that these people were happy, essentially, because it's the actual doing that makes a person happy. Imagine when everything is handed to you on a silver plate, and you're not active anymore. You're just standing still, and that can't be, that can't be very health or very productive. It can't be a very healthy situation to stay still all day long, static, and you're going to become very unhealthy as a result. And we suffer so much suicide, neurosis, psychosis, etc., psychiatric illness, and whatnot. Yet we live in the most affluent, in the Western cultures, affluent cities, with all the amenities, all the things that we take for granted. These people don't even have an ounce of what we have in terms of civil support to help them throughout their day. And it is really a daily grind that they go through. They wake up in shit, they go to sleep in shit, they work in shit, they live in shit conditions, yet they have a lot of dignity. They're very dignified people. They dress immaculately. Their children, when they go to school in the morning, they live with rats. When they're sleeping at night, there's rats all over the place. Their living conditions are medieval. Even Dark Ages probably didn't have it so bad. People just poo on the street. There's no water. There's no sanitation. There's no civil service there. In terms of their working conditions, it's vile. You have little children walking around in filth, in mud. There's no health and safety standards there. There's no civil service supporting them whatsoever to ensure their safety and health. They don't wear work clothes. They don't have any shoes even, and they're in filthy mud on waste dumps where all the garbage trucks come. Now that's how they make their living, you see, because they are essential, in fact, to the surrounding community. They recycle they recycle the garbage of 11 million people in the surrounding area of the city of Mumbai. and they recycle 85% of it. Now, whereas we take recycling here in the Western world to be some kind of bourgeois practice, like, oh, look at me recycling, what a do-gooder I am. Oh, I'm so good recycling. And most of the stuff that we recycle is only the good stuff. I mean, still there's a huge amount of waste that we just throw and jet into the oceans. And by the way, if we continue with all the shit that we keep pumping into the ocean, we're going to strangle the seas, and that supplies us with 50% of our oxygen, by the way. So there's another overlooked micro culture, if you will, that's being overlooked by the macro society produced by Western mentalities, the macro culture itself, the macro economic mind, which is very much overshadowing micro cultures, and they're going very much overlooked. These essential communities. Now, like I mentioned to you, they recycle all of the garbage. 85% of the garbage is recycled of a community of 11 million people. Now, we're told here that most of the stuff, that we want to recycle, we can't. Well, they do, and they do a very good job of it. 85% of the garbage is recycled. And they make a huge amount of money for this small little community. Now, these are rough diamonds, you see, rough diamonds. They make $1 billion annually, collectively, in a cottage industry environment where everybody has a place, 80% employment, which completely, destroys our standards in terms of labor provision and work provision in Western economies. 80% of the people who are basically able-bodied are working. The only people that won't be working are the infirmed and the very, very young, for example. Now, like I said to you, they work in terrible, terrible conditions. They don't even have boots, or they don't have a uniform or anything to protect them clothing-wise in their labor. And when they get home, they don't have running water like we take for granted here. Now, all these people need, to give them their dignity, because they are happy, dignified people. If you look at their spiritual core, collectively, they've given themselves a purpose, and they work, like the 5 fingers on a hand. Everyone has their place, and they fall in line naturally. There's a natural line of communication there that people follow. The structure, the cottage industry structure that they have there, works, intuitively. And we are counterintuitive when it comes to the Western world in terms of how we structure ourselves. We're very much obviously egotistical, independent thinking. That's why, like I said, there's a lot of suicide, etc. here, because people just want everything on a silver plate. There's a lot of lethargy. There's a lot of people who are living insignificant or selfish lifestyles, dysfunctional lifestyles, due to a lack of identity, pretty much, and spiritual identity. At the end of the day, also is very important, and that's what's lacking in the Western culture: a sense of identity. We don't identify with anything. We respect nothing at all. And, obviously with our liberty and so-called bullshit freedom that we have, which we don't, we're working more hours than ever before in the history of labor markets, 40-hour or more a week lifestyles. And we have our liberty, but we don't have our freedom here. That's the thing that people don't understand, the difference. We use our freedom irresponsibly free. Because of that irresponsibly free attitude, you see, we've gotten away with our social transition. We've gotten away from totalitarian regimes or authoritarian type of structures, throughout the wars and whatnot, to secure our so-called civil rights. Yet, at the same time doing so, we've thrown the baby out with the bathwater. We don't have values anymore, traditions that we respect or look to. We don't have structure, and we're pretty much like weeds, tumbleweeds, just drifting. Divorce is rife. Kids, they just don't have any, they don't trust anything, they don't have any values really, and they don't respect themselves at the end of the day or respect anything around them. A lot of children don't. respect themselves today. They don't have parents. There is no family identity. There is no, 3 generations under one house. That's why people die so early and so young and lead tragic, useless lifestyles where they resent everything around them and they think that everything is God-given at the end of the day. And no one wants to work anymore. No one is part of a community. No one has a community identity or sense of identity in terms of a community. A community itself is broken. But look at these people who share great community structure there, and they have absolutely no support, no civil support whatsoever. They don't even have water. Now, these people are rough diamonds. There is an industry there. They do make money. And imagine if we just gave them a little bit of support, how we could shine up those rough diamonds and make them shine, okay? And it takes billions of years to produce one diamond, but we're so quick in the Western world to use resources, irrespective of their potential future value. We just use resources irresponsibly on a daily basis with the petrochemical industry. It's not funny. And we're out of control. And we're growing at a phenomenal rate that's out of control. And because of the macro thinking, economic thinking that we have, this fast economy that needs to be satiated, immediately, we don't think of the long term or the future of what our resources can potentially yield. And like I said to you, these people are rough diamonds, and now they have a corporation. Unethical. Yes, we do need corporations in the Western world. That's what gives us our utilities and our civil structure. That's what gives us, our economy in the West. We do have a great foundation, but we're using it irresponsibly, this foundation that we have. We're not collective. We're not collective thinkers. We're not family thinkers. We're just all individualists, and that's why we're so quick to put water in plastic bottles. That's why we're so quick to use plastic, and not think of the dangers of what we're doing to not only our economy, but the ecosystem itself, the environment. We're so quick to use things and throw away. We're a trash culture. And these people are saving us from ourselves by recycling our trash. And these corporations are quick to want to come and destroy and grind that economy down and replace it with shiny new buildings. That's what they want to do. Put in these useless, shiny new buildings and then put these people into square boxes, 90 degrees, carpentized environments that completely strip them of any cohesive line that they had. And their collective consciousness itself will be diminished and destroyed as a result of putting them in 90-degree boxes, like we've been carpentized, like we've been consciously manipulated to live in this 90-degree angled environment that we put ourselves in. They can see a lot clearer and a lot further than us due to our restraints of our 90-degree carpentized environment. Now, these people need our help, most definitely. They need to be given their dignity. They need to have sanitation. They need to have water. They need to have sewerage, systems there. They don't need much, and they don't ask for much. If you look what this lady said, like she was one of the elders of the village, they asked her, "What do you need?" And she said, "Well, not much. Running water would be good. I give them their water, and they can clean up the place, clean it up a bit. A bit of paint, bit of fresh paint here and there. Give them the sanitation, give them water, give them utilities, give them electricity." The things that we take for granted every single day, and it wouldn't take much, because the other side of it, the result will be the death of this community and those corporations, those unethical corporations. We need corporations. We need corporations with ethics, though. Those corporations that are on their doorstep waiting to come and bulldoze their village are going to do away with them overnight like this and put them into boxes, and it will all disappear. And then what will they replace it with? What will they replace it with? Who will do the plastic? Where will the pickers be to do all the recycling? What will happen then? They're just going to jet all that garbage into the ocean like we all do and pollute the oceans even more and strangle it with plastic? It provides 50% of our oxygen in the oceans. We're going to keep strangling it. These people are providing an essential, vital service to all of us in the surrounding community. We must support them. We must give them their dignity. It's essential that we do so. And if we don't, well, shame on us. And it's the giant that steps on ants over and over again because he doesn't see where he's putting his feet. And look at this small microculture, will you? This thriving community, okay, of people with a sense of identity and purpose that we just want to throw in the garbage, like so much plastic, who are doing an essential service for us, and we overlook it. This is a busy hive, a network, if you will, a busy hive of busy bees. And isn't it funny that bees are going extinct now? And here's another ecosystem, another microculture that we're just doing away with bees. And if the bees go, as you all know, you keep hearing this, I guess, from time to time nowadays, we all go. We all go. And it's just like people want to do away, for example, the royal family. Well, you know, the royal family are guilty of many sins throughout history, as we all are. But at the end of the day, essentially, they are what they are, which is a voice, a second voice for the people. So we're not overshadowed by governments that want to keep us quiet, you know. And they are a second voice, and they are a community, and they are people, the people's champions, very much so. And I can tell you right now, Prince Charles, urban decline has been very much a running theme since I can remember, since the 80s. Prince Charles has always been talking about urban decline, urban decline, urban decline. And he is serious, and he is, when he talks about the situation of these people, he is passionate about it. He does care. I can promise you that. Now, I'm not saying the royalty are angels, but they do serve a purpose. And they are a family, they are a collective, just like these people are essential. Essential. What will we, just like the royal family, what would we replace them with if we did away with them? Who would we look up to then? Look at these people and their plight. What would we do if we do away with these people? What will Mumbai do? What will happen if the bees go? I ask you very much to drop, open your eyes a little bit more. Which way of the telescope you're looking? You're looking this way, you're looking this way. Open your eyes up to microcultures that are essential, that need our help. Thank you very much. That's all I want to say about that. I bid you a good day. Thanks. How do I stop this video? Oh, stop recording. Take it easy.